Alright boys, so today I'm going to be making a guide on the op and how to use it, what agents are good, all that stuff. And yeah, if you don't know me, I'm an Immortal 3 duelist main. I was opping back in the day all the time on Jett. I was opping for my team, so you know, learned a lot along the way. Still pick up the op now, don't care what agent really I'm on. I'll play it on the Raze, play it on the Neon. Whenever I just see a situation for the op, I'll pick it up. Still pretty confident with it, so yeah. Let's just hop into it. Alright, so the best agents to op with. Here's a little tier list I came up with. Just real quick. And you can see you got Chamber and Jett in S tier. Obviously, you know these two can op by far the best. Chamber has teleports. Jett has get out of jail free. So they're the best. You don't need anything else. Chamber and Jett also have easy ways to get the op. Like, you can eco really well on two of them. Like, Chamber has his deagle to eco to get the op. He also has a free op as an ult, you know? Chamber is definitely the best. But Jett is definitely second best because you have those knives as well for that eco. And you also have the dash. Now, the main difference between the two is Chamber is better at defensively opping. If you're more of a passive opper, you know, you're just a lot more passive. Even, you can still get aggressive with Chamber, obviously, you know this. But if you're more of a passive opper, Chamber is definitely better. If you're more aggressive with the op, you like to jump around the place. You like to use it like a shotgun. Jett is the better opper for that. But yeah, those are the two best. Then in B tier, you see there's no one in A. There's no one really close to those two. I kind of wanted to make it clear. But the next best two I'd say is Reyna. Reyna is really good because you get that get out of jail free as well. Problem is, if you miss on Reyna, you're dead. That's just the way it is with Reyna. So yeah. And then Raze, obviously you have the problems of like, you can get out, but you can't get out as consistent as the other two. Like, you can satchel out, but it's not the same. The big thing with Raze though is we have the satchel peak, so you can fly out with an op, and it's just pretty good. And then the others in C tier here, you got Omen, Sova, Yoru, and Neon. You know, they're whatever. Like, they're okay. Omen, like, you can play an off angle and you can TP out. Same with Yoru, you can just do that. Sova, the reason he's here is because his playstyle just kind of suits the op, you know what I mean? Like, you drone in the back and then you're kind of in a position to op. That's why he's here. And Neon, it's kind of good to run around and try and get a few quick picks with the op, and that's about it. And everyone else is pretty bad with the gun. So they're the best agents pretty much to op with. Alright, so I'm going to go over the three main different ways of peeking with an op. Now, there's probably more ways, but these are going to be the most common ways you're going to be peeking with the op. And your first one is just going to be your bog standard one. This is going to be your most common one. Just when you're just playing, you're going to be peeking angles kind of like this, you know? You're going to keep slowly doing this. And then you're going to spot a guy and you're going to readjust to him and you're going to kill him. That's going to be your most standard way. The worst thing about this is you don't move much with the op, so your head is going to be at constant level. So sometimes against riflers like Vandals across the map, they're just going to one-tap you with a good crosshair placement. And that's where some of the other peaks can come in handy. Now this one against another opper is pretty good, just because if you know where they are, you do it like this, you'll be able to spot them real quick. And you'll just be able to kill them. Now the other one you can do is the crouch peek, where you kind of run out like this and crouch. This will let you shoot a little bit faster than the regular peek, but obviously your crosshair is moving up and down when you're doing a crouch, so you will have to be wary of that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the crouch peek. There's nothing too special about it. It's a little bit faster, and yeah. And the final one is my favorite one. You got the jump peek. Now, the jump peek is really good, to be honest. Like, if you are in an angle where you can't really get out, or you just want to throw off the crosshair placement of the enemy. Let's say that Vandal user is across the map. Let's say this guy's a Vandal user, right? And then I come swinging out like this. If he one-taps me, bro, he had some weird crosshair placement. His crosshair was up here. You know what I mean? So, especially against riflers, the jump peek can be good. Now, the jump peek is obviously the hardest one. You can just try it in the practice range. You can see, if you do it too early, you won't do anything, you see? Nothing happens. You want to do it slightly after that thud, right? That's the best way to practice it, right? So you hear that thud. So you want to run, jump, wait for slightly after the thud, and then you can go. You can see the dot. If you do it perfect, you won't even see the dot, but you can wait for the dot as you're getting started with it. And that's like the easiest way to notice. But if you do it right on time, the dot won't even come up. And you'll just be able to get a nice free kill. So that's the main 3 types of peaks with the op. Alright, so I'm just going to go over the settings you can have with the op. The main real thing here is ADS being on, you can see the sniper aim between toggle and hold. Now, you can see I'm a hold player. I personally think it's much better, but a lot of other players don't like it. So you're going to have to experiment with this one, but the advantages of the hold is you can aim like this, where you can go in and out really quick. Like you're playing COD or something, you know, you can just do it like this. Whereas you can see with toggle, the same thing, you have to go all the way in and out. Now, that alone is why I use hold with snipers. But the problem is when you're holding angles for a very long time, it can get tiring. And if your mouse grip is different, you won't be able to hold and keep the same kind of precision. But I guess I'm fortunate that my mouse grip doesn't really change from holding down. So it's pretty much all benefit for someone like me. But you're going to have to experiment with this one and just see what you like. The real thing here is you can clear angles very well with hold compared to toggle. That's one of the great reasons I love it. So, you know, like, let's say I want to clear over here and then just quickly clear there. You can see it's very fluid, very nice. Whereas if you have toggle, you will have to come up like this. You have to zoom in again and then go out. If that doesn't bother you, then you can use that and you won't ever have to hold the mouse down. If you don't like it, then you can swap over to hold, and that's pretty much your ADS options. Now, if you want to double zoom, you will have to enable this with hold. You can see mine's on C here. So you're able to zoom in and out like this. You can have this on toggle as well, but it's obviously more important for the hold players. Just so you can double zoom. I have it on C because it's really easy for me to press and I don't have anything else on C. So that's my bind. You can obviously put it to whatever you want, but that's the only real settings for the op here. There's a few more things here as well, actually, I want to mention. So you've got the scope for your sniper. I have it on 1. I know some different players, like some great oppers like Wardell, have it on I think 1.15 or something like that. It's personal preference, doesn't really matter. You can put on whenever you want. 1 is just consistent to your regular aim. So I'd recommend 1, but if you like it on something else, there's no harm, no foul, you know? You just have to get used to it. And then you've got your crosshair, which you can go over to your sniper scope here. I like it on 100% opacity. I just like being able to see the dot really well. I know a lot of other players have it lower. But yeah, and I have the thickness on 1. So they are my settings, and obviously I have the hold for the sniper, which I talked about. I just think if you're a more of an aggressive style of opper, the hold is definitely, maybe not definitely. I just think it's better for that style of play, which I like to do. But yeah, that's all the settings you've got for the op. Alright, so I want to go over crosshair placement. Now, crosshair placement with the op especially, it's very, very important. And it's like one big mind game, pretty much. It's pretty, like, that's all I can really say it is. It's a big mind game. So, like, let's say I come out here and I make it here first, right? And I'm holding this angle. You have to predict what the enemy's going to do. Now, a lot of the time, you're going to hold your crosshair about here. You'll see some players hold it here. This is really, really bad. You're never going to react in time to the guy who swings this. You want to hold it about here. This kind of covers a wide swing if you react quick. Like, if it's a real wide swing, you hold it about here. But if you hold it here, this covers about a wide swing and a normal swing. You know what I mean? Like, it'll cover both pretty much, but you want it away from this wall. You can't just hold it here. If you hold it here, you're going to miss. You're going to miss every time because you're going to have to adjust like this. You don't really want to do that. You want to have as little adjustments as possible. So about here is pretty good in general for most angles. You'll see kind of like the same thing, like over here. Like about here, pretty good. But you're going to have to get used to this. You're going to have to play off your own reaction time. Don't just hold it really close. It's really bad. The only time you hold it really even then, you'll never hold it here. If you want to hold it for like a perfect peak, we'll call it. Let's say a perfect peak is like this, right? So this guy with the Vandal, he swings like this, right? Barely peaks it. A perfect peak. If he does it like that, a bit tighter is going to be nicer, but you're basically covering all bases when you're doing it like this. You kind of have everything. You'll clip his shoulder if he perfect peaks you. So this would be like your average one. Now, if you expect a jump peak, I won't do it here because it's a bit awkward because you can jump peek here. Just like a standard angle like this one, we'll say. If you're expecting a guy to jump peek you here, and you'll only start getting this a lot of times in higher ranks because lower elo players don't even know how to jump peek like this, you know? If you're expecting a guy to do this, let's say you've opted him like 4 times mid and they're getting sick of you, you want to hold your crosshair like this. This is the only time you'll hold close. You want to hold it up and close. And that's what I mean by it's a mind game. Sometimes they're going to jump peek, sometimes they're not. So let's say he jump peeks once, and then he jump peeks twice. He might not go for a third jump peek, so you might want to still hold this. Or maybe he is going to go for another jump peek, and then you hold it like this. So it's a mind game thing, but you wanna get it on point there. Nah, and like this is what I mean. And if you're expecting, let's say you're against like Spectres or something. Your Spectre's coming really close. You're not going to hold like this. You're going to hold really wide, something like this. Because what's the Spectre going to do? You're the Spectre player, right? You see an op close to you, you're going to do this, right? You're going to run up like this. That's why you want to start holding really wide for that, you know? And then maybe you want to peek the next guy who comes close. And the op is all about this. It's all about these little mind games that you want to start playing. And then obviously your pre-aims are very important. Let's say there's a guy on top here. You know, you run, you jump, you do the jump peek. And you want to make sure you're pre-aiming this. If you don't know where to pre-aim, you can always do this on the map. You can just ping for yourself. Jump, peek, boom. Give yourself a nice little like reference point to do. Problem here, the ping's underneath, but you get the idea. Boom. You get your peaks. And that crosshair placement is so important with the op. You're going to have to really start thinking in depth about your crosshair here. So yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go over positioning here now. I think positioning is like the main thing about opping, right? This is like where you'll get all your skill cap from. Like if you're good at positioning, you'll be very good with the op. So the thing about, right, I think playing aggressive is very important, especially at the beginning of rounds, right? So, you know, on Icebox here, I'm going to go Icebox just because repositioning on Icebox is so important, and I think it's why a lot of people struggle with this map. So I'm going to do a bad example of like how to reposition first, right? So you'll see a lot of players coming over here, right? And they'll come up here and they'll take their shot. And then they'll just run all the way back here. And from here, they'll just, like, play retake, pretty much. They'll just hide, and they'll just sit here and play retake. This is really bad, because you've gone for your one. If you missed, you just gave up the entire site for no reason. Like, it's really not good. Now, the way I would go about this is I would go up like this. I'd dash out, and then I'd hold this angle. Right? Now I have this angle. I miss this one. Fine, I go back here. I'd updraft here. Maybe I'll go for a peek over here. Maybe I'll hold this angle. You see, I'm still fighting. I'm not just giving them the entire point here. Maybe I'll go for a quick, if I'm not seeing anyone, maybe I'll go for a quick swing up here. Risky? Yes. Maybe you don't have to do this one. This could be an over peek. You'd only do this if you find like a nice timing on somebody. That's the only way you'd go for this reswing. Or if you have a teammate here, maybe they flash for you. Yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? But, yeah. And then you can jump up here. Maybe you go here. But this is what I mean. So, yeah, one of my favorite plays here on Icebox is actually this. Where you pop your dash. You run, you jump over here. And you take a kill on this guy. Dash out. Run back around here. Jump on this little head glitch. You hold this angle. Get that kill. Dash out. You smoke like here. Jump around. And now if someone's coming on the ropes, you can try and fight them. Or if there's someone coming over here, bang. See that? You fall back to different angles every time. You don't just give up the whole site unless you have to. If you have to, unless you're going to die, then give it up. But you don't want to, you know what I mean? You'll try your best not to give that space up. That's the thing about the op. You command that space. Like, you own it. So don't give them too much. You want to give them as little as they can get. They have to fight tooth and nail for it. They're going to have to send buddies. They're going to have to send util your way. Otherwise, you're not going to give it up. That is the main thing. And I'm going to go over some examples now in a second of just repositioning and how to, like, different, like, in-game types of things. But it's all about take a shot, move. Take a shot, move. Take a shot, move. That's what you want to do. Every time you take a shot, like, let's say you're holding this. Boom, you miss. And then you peek again. And then you peek again. You know what I mean? That's a no. That's a no. Let's say you're holding down here. You know, you take your shot. Maybe you go up here. You take another shot. You know what I mean? You move. You have to move. Otherwise, they're just going to pre-aim you and kill you. That's what I mean. So, like, you go for this play. Where you come up here. Boom. Then you take up this angle instead. Boom. You know what I mean? And then you can go to this angle. Boom. All about keeping going. You don't want to stand still all the time. You have to be moving as much as possible. Every time you move, your information is clear. Especially since you are an opper, like everyone's calming you. They're gonna be calming you more than anyone else. You have to keep ahead of the game. You have to keep moving. And that is like a huge principle. I'm gonna go over some examples now. Alright, so you can see here in this clip, I'm starting off and I actually whip my first shot. But I still go straight away, throw the smoke, and I'm out. I don't give up too much space though. It's the key, and I go for another peek, get one. And you see again, after you take a shot, you're moving. Take a shot, you're moving. Boom. Take a shot, I'm gone again. And then I actually end up just no-scoping this Viper after still taking shot, move, take shot, move, take shot, move. It's always the same thing. Like, so you can see in this clip, I'm actually retaking the site here, which is obviously much harder. Let's see, I'm going for this first peek here. Have the dash, take a shot, move. I end up actually going underneath here. Again, just to change it up, just so they can't predict me. Bubble almost gets me. Boom. Take a shot, pop the dash again. Actually end up going really aggressive here with my knives. Move forward a little bit here. I don't end up killing this Sova. I spot the Sage. Okay, smoke my teammate off. I move again. Boom. Hold the crosshair really wide because I heard him full sprinting because he heard the bomb. And I'm able to just kill him. So you can see in this clip, I'm just standing really high up. Just chilling here, just being a bit of a turret. Spot the Jett, end up hitting the flick. Instantly move again. Peeking out here, try to get the Omen. End up picking up the Sage here. Pop my knives, go really aggressive. And I see how the second I get like noticed there that because their team are calming, right? They're like, oh, the Jett's over here, Jett's over here. So then I go to try and move, but it doesn't look like I really can here.
Oh my god, I found it.
I end up sitting in this spot for a little bit. This guy expects me to push all the way left. I end up sitting right and I just pick him up. And this clip kind of has some concepts as well, but to be honest, it was just kind of funny. But I went for this play that I usually like going for, which is take a shot over there, move, come back to this angle then, a shot again up here, and I end up hitting a no-scope on this guy. And then you can watch me do some trolling here if you want. Bit of trolling going on, going for no-scopes. Wouldn't recommend the no-scopes, but the principle of going on top left and then pushing back and then playing there and then pushing back again is very good. Alright, so I'm just going to be going over some different ways of practicing with the op and just like trying to get better with the gun itself. Now, I'm going to show you the way I always used to warm up, like literally every day whenever I was really hard practicing, I was really grinding. I would do this. I don't really do it anymore because I'm not hardcore grinding anymore, but it definitely did help my aim quite a lot. Now, what I used to do was I put it on 100 bots here and I just press start. And I would practice different styles of flicks. Now, I'd be moving around like this and I'd try and hit, like, I would get 20 left flicks, right? I'd flick to the left 20 times. Different ways, you know, different things, that really wide ones like that. Or really, really tiny ones like that. I'd just keep practicing whichever way I'm feeling. And then do the same on the right. Just the same, blah, blah, blah. Go for some crazy ones. And I'd, you know, practice some of my jump peaks here. And that's what I'd be doing. And I'd try some like close range ones. You know, I'm sitting here going for some of this, just some stuff like that. And then I would do up and down ones for, I think, to add up to 50, I think it was 10 up ones and 10 down ones. Just like this. And some down. And then I would do all the different diagonals. So I would do like this. I would do top right ones, like that. Top right. I would do top left ones. I would do bottom right ones. And I would do bottom left ones. All the way down till I hit 0. Now that was the way I always practiced. And then I would play some DMs. I used to play 3 DMs minimum. And I'd practice my sheriff, my rifle, and my op in all of those. And that was my favorite way of just being able to get warm. And when you DM with an op, first of all, turn off all chat. You're gonna get flamed no matter what you're doing. People just hate the op, it's annoying. But you need practice, like it's just how it is. But if you're sitting here like this in DM with an op and you just holding guys, you're practicing the wrong thing for DM. Like it's not worth your time doing that. You want to practice the hard shots in DM, so go aggressive with the op. Just send the balls to the wall in the deathmatch, you know, just spin around the place. Try and hit some clicks. And just get good quality, just hard shots, you know what I mean? That's what you're in there for. You're there to try and practice those harder shots, make them easy. And once you make those harder shots a bit easier, then the easy shots just come like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's gonna be the whole video, boys. I hope you enjoyed that. It was fun to make. I really do enjoy opping. Opping is very fun in this game. Just some of the clips you can hit is just like nothing else. But yeah, that's gonna be everything anyway. So like, sub, all that stuff. Follow me on Twitch. Join the Discord. That's what it's called. And yeah, I'll see you later, boys.